of the session. Recording has been started for the session, guys. Now, can you please tell me what is use of source command?
Sir, suppose like there we change the. Sir, I just forgot, sir. So UMask ID we change, and after that we always have to restart our shell. So in order to avoid that, sir, we use the source command to initialize to like reinitialize in that current shell.
Okay. Okay. So guys, let me tell you one thing. Let us say whenever we log into this particular operating system, so what happens in background? Initializes everything in bash RC to the current session. Yes. Vishnu Teja is saying that initializes everything in bash RC to the current session. Yes, you are right. So what happens? Whatever information, let us say if we are here, so I guess that we already know ls-l rtha command in order to figure out the particular files and folders which are available in current directory in order of the file creation and the recent access file. So guys, whatever information is available within this bash RC file. So, okay, let me install Vim. Yum install vim. Today we are going to discuss about package manager. And guys, what is this? What is this?
So if you want to repeat the previous word or something.
So rather than writing, let us say I wrote a command here, yum install vim -y, right? What is this? We will discuss it. But for now, let us say if I wanted to add sudo before this command, so rather than writing it complete command, what I can do here is sudo and 2 exclamation mark I can define, and this command will be repeated automatically, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You mentioned in the second lecture, sir.
Yes, but there is a drawback as well. It will not ask you to execute before execution. It will just execute it. For example,
that is risky, sir. That's why I mentioned in my note avoiding this.
No, see, like if you are quite sure, see, like even I'm using it because I know that what particular operation I'm performing. It can be risky in case if you are like removing any file. But if you are installing anything, let us say if you are restarting any service, that does not mean that it can be risky.
Yes, especially for RMRF.
Yes. So Naukri ja sakti sort of things are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so not a problem. So guys, when we were talking about bash RC, so whatever information is available here, and guys, like it is not only about UMask. For example, that I'm going to specify some Java path, maybe Java underscore home I'm going to define, and over here, for example, just I'm saying like usr/java /bin/abc/java. For example, I want to specify any specific path for this particular user to use any specific version of Java. I can define that here, right? Moreover, UMask, let us say 000 or 222, whatever I want, I can define here. Like 022, I can define that here, or maybe 027, whatever UMask I want, I can define that here. Now, let us say if I want to have anything else like alias, like whenever I want to run cp command, so that should be considered cp equals to cp -i. So what does it mean? Like I have made 3 modifications here. First of all, I have modified Java home for this particular user. I have modified the UMask value for this particular user, and I have added one additional alias here. Right? So whenever I log into this particular operating system, so this particular command is executed .etc bash rc. This particular command is executed, and see source global definitions. If you do not have anything specific within this particular file, then this particular etc bash rc file, yesterday we were seeing that file, right? So that particular file will be exported to your user's home directory. But if you have specified any special component here, then this particular component, these particular parameters will override this particular file. And when does this happen? So this particular happens at the time of user login. When user logs into this particular current session, so that time, once this file will be executed, right? For now, let us say I do not want to log out. Let us say I have saved this particular and I want like source, and I would like to run the same command. Like I do not want to log out and log in again in order to consume the particular changes, whatever I have done within this particular environment, within this particular server for this user. I will be hitting only this, like source, and that is it. Are we clear with that?
Yes, so it will consider with any file, like we do any kind of changes, we just press the Control Z, and in that particular case, we can run the source.bashrc file, like, or the file name, any kind abc.txt file or any other file.
Yes. So whatever files are going to make an impact on your terminal, on the behavior of this particular session, you can use that particular command here, like source.
And we can only use with the with the text only, with the text editor, like to edit something or to change something.
So any file can be edited with a text editor only.
Right. I'm talking about like we can't use for the services and all, right? Only
No,
for
no,
the
we
text
cannot.
file.
We cannot.
Okay.
Because services are not specific to any terminal. Let us say if I'm running Apache on this particular web server and service is running on this operating system, if I close this terminal, though your service will keep on working, because I will be accessing from any browser side. So yes, guys, right now we are here at this particular point. Guys, yesterday we were talking about top command. So any doubt about it? Yes, I gave you homework. So like what is HI and what is SI?
HI means the hardware interrupt. Actually, basically, we use it for like in every other like operation. Like if we want to press any kind of input, want to give from the keypad or keyboard, is execute from that, and after they execute it, so it goes to the CPU to handle all the requests.
Okay. And what is SI? What is SI? Okay, go for it. You will have to study it. This is your homework.
Okay.
Otherwise, definitely I'm here to tell you. Okay, guys, one more thing I would like to tell you. For example, like we are talking about system performance. So there is a particular command known as free. So free command is basically used to check the memory which is available on this operating system. Like free command we can use here. Free is the command to check memory. Now free -m. If we want to see the memory in MBs, right? Moreover, let us say if you have like huge amount of memory, maybe 60 GB, maybe 80 GB, maybe 100 GB, maybe 120 GB you have. So it will be difficult to use free -m command. Why it is so? Because that calculates memory in MBs, and you will have to additionally calculate the values from MBs to GBs, right? So you can use free -g here. So why it is showing 0? Because this system even does not have 1 GB of RAM. Right? So these sort of options you can use here with free command. So free command is basically used to check the amount of available memory on this particular system. Okay. So what are the particular things which we need to check? First of all, we need to check the total amount of memory, total amount of RAM. Then after we talk about used amount of RAM, what is free, what is shared, what is like buffer and cache, and what is available. So I guess we were discussing about these things yesterday as well. Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. So now, guys, when we know about free command, now there are a couple of other commands. For example, I'll give you some homework which you will have to perform. So let us say top command can tell me the particular state of this operating system right away, like what is current load, even what is load of 15 minutes. Let us say this particular command can tell me, okay, 91 processes are running as of now. But what if there is an email which someone might be from business team, from sales team, or maybe from any XYZ team has sent you, that we got an issue that some of the users were facing the particular like they were not getting like right response, or they were facing some issue at XYZ time, maybe half an hour before. So how will you check the particular number of processes which were running on this operating system before half an hour? Yes, guys, did you get my question?
Could you please repeat?
Okay, let us say you are working in shift. You get an email from maybe your manager, okay, that some users were reporting issue before half an hour. So can you please tell me, like, what was the status of this server before half an hour? Top command can definitely help you with current status of this operating system. Like you can tell boss, currently 91 processes are running. This is uptime, one user is logged in. This is the load average, like for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, number of sleeping, number of stop, zombie process, you can tell. Even you can tell about memory part as well, right? But how will you get to know that what was the like number of processes which were running before half an hour? Or maybe the load average you want to know before half an hour. So guys, there is a particular command which comes into picture that is known as SAR. Yum install sysstat -y. So guys, sysstat is the particular software which we use in order to enable the SAR command. Sysstat. Yum stands for Yellow Dog Update Modifier. Yellow Dog Update Modifier is the particular name of this particular package manager. Install, it means we are instructing this operating system to install packages. Sysstat is the name of that software which will provide me this particular command. And not only this, a lot of softwares, a lot of commands this particular package is going to provide me. So SAR stands for System Activity Reporter. I'll repeat it again. SAR stands for System Activity Reporter. So unlike top command is going to help you with current state of operating system, so SAR command will not only help you with current state of operating system, but it holds the traditional data as well. Maybe for 20 days, maybe for 15 days. By default, SAR command holds the data of last 15 days on your operating system. Where does it store? How does it store? And if it is stored, so how we can check the traditional data, maybe the old data of our operating system. That's what we are going to see it right away. Guys, please do let me know if you have any question. So guys,
Sir, I asked in the previous session,
Yeah.
sir, how to delete the cache memories.
okay, how to delete the cache? So sorry, I could not take that question because there was some urgency yesterday. Okay, echo 3. Now you will have to redirect it to /proc sys vm and drop cache. This is the particular command you can use to clear cache of your operating system. Like page cache you can drop with the help of this particular thing.
What is the use of it actually? Why we use it?
Okay, let us say that if you see that your memory is being, a lot of memory is being used in the buffer and cache, and you want that memory should be freed up. Like the particular pages which are lying in your buffer or cache section, you want to release those pages and you want to free your mem, right? So in that case, what is going to happen, guys? You guys are going to execute this particular command, and like you will hit this particular command here. If the wait a minute. So if any of the particular server or any of the particular pages which were available there, so you will see like earlier, what was the value here? 440, right? Free memory was 223, and right now if you see, buffer and cache is 108 MB and free is 577 MB.
Actually, in this free command, there is a one thing like the free. What is the difference between the free and available?
Okay. Free means, if you see here, so this particular amount of RAM is not being consumed by any process, right? If you see here, there is a particular memory which is currently used by some of the processes which are running on this operating system, and these processes are known as shared library. For example, like if I'm running a command maybe top, or if I'm running a command maybe free, so there are some of the files which are used by these two commands in common. So this shared memory is consumed by these sort of commands. It means if same files are supposed to be loaded by free command or same files are supposed to be loaded by top command, then this particular shared memory will be utilized in common. Now, if we talk about available, so let us say if you have a plan to start new processes on this operating system, so you can start process up to that extent which are supposed to consume this amount of memory. This is available.
So it's
Can
like
you
Windows 10.
explain it with the like some kind of example?
Come again, what did you say?
Can you explain with some kind of instance or
Okay, let us say if I install one software here, yum install httpd -y. So as soon as I will start this service, this particular available memory will be shifted to used one, and this particular amount like free will reduce, available will reduce, and used will increase. Why it is so? Because as soon as I will install this particular package, I will start this service. So that particular service is going to consume some amount of RAM on this operating system. We will get to know about the systemctl, what does it do and all. See the difference here. The values are a little modified. If I start any other service, or moreover, if I start accessing this particular website, if I start consuming this service, then these values will also be modified going forward. Right?
yeah, right. Actually, in my production like server, actually somehow the memory optimization somehow sometimes it's very high. So at that time it will not use. I think it doesn't use the available memory, or it will use the free. It will take from the free memory.
So basically, it will consume from the available first. And like if you have like these sort of services which prefers to keep the pages on cache, then first of all it will consume from free, but your system will not go out of memory till the time you have available section. So free section may go up to like 150 MB, 200 MB, 250 MB, so on and so forth, it can go. But if you have buffer and cache, plus if you have available memory on your system, then you need not to worry about it. If this section is running out, maybe you have only 20 MB RAM as available, you have only 400 MB as buffer and cache, and like used is like maybe 95% is used, then in that case you may have to look for it, that you might need to increase the RAM on your operating system. Moreover, if you want to know that what is the particular process which is consuming more and more memory, so you will hit the particular top command. Inside it, you will press Shift plus M. M means like mango. So if you hit here M, then you will get to know the particular processes in a sequence which are consuming more and more memory. If you see here SSSD_NSS is the particular process which is consuming the maximum memory, which is 4.9%. After that TuneD, then after PolkitD, like if you see it here, like PolkitD and all, right? If you keep it pressing, then definitely guys, you will get to know that these are the processes which are more and more memory consuming. And by running this particular option, you can get to know like what is the particular state of this particular operating system right now, what all processes are there, and why these are utilizing this amount of RAM. You can get to know, right? Okay. Now, if you want to see the complete command of this, like this is only like command. If you want to see the complete like execution path of this, you can press C for Kolkata, right? Or C for Chennai. You can press here. C for Canada. You can press here. If you type in C, then it will not only like print the particular complete binary path of that executed command, but also it will let you know the particular like sudo su hyphen. Earlier, this particular su command was printed here, but right now, if you press C, then you will get to know the particular complete executable binary of that particular command. Are we clear with that?
Yes. Is there any kind of a shortcut key to only print the R option, like running commands?
Well, if you type in here capital A, then this will segregate these particular commands to different sections. If you press Z here, it will print some color coding here.
Because I have asked this question because the somehow we have seen running the R is status is
Ankit,
changing
just
day
a
by
minute.
day.
Ankit, just give me a minute. Yes, guys. So if we press Z here, it will print you, it will give you color coding sort of stuff here, right? If you press capital A, it will break down the process based on the segregation, right? Moreover, if you type in 1, it will break down the like number of CPUs here. So multiple options are there that will be depending on your need. Moreover, sometimes it happens, let us say you do not want to see this like this way, you want to see the particular top command in binary mode. If you run a command top-b, so this will keep on printing the particular process every second. So now the particular top command which you used to see earlier, that is not like that. It is printing the particular command in very next page. You might not have seen this sort of thing before when we were running top command, right? The top command is not interactive anymore. That top command is showing the particular list of processes, and this is pushing the data back to top. So this is known as top command. Moreover, let us say if your future purpose, if you want to analyze this command and you would like to get output of this command maybe in any file, then you can take this output to an individual file as well. This is known as binary mode of top command. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So guys, we were talking about SAR command. So SAR stands for System Activity Reporter. SAR is really useful command to check historical data and use of this operating system in historical manner. For example, like what was the utilization of this operating system 2 hours before, maybe 2 days before, maybe 15 days before. That sort of logs will be placed within this particular like directory, right? How we are going to utilize it? I'll tell you right away. First of all, so, okay, is that question clear? Like how do we clear cache of our operating system?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So SAR-Q, these are the particular command we are going to use. But before Like as you see, please check if data collection is enabled. We will have to enable the data collection for this command. Where do we, how do we enable it? vim/etc. There is a file like etc sysconfig and sysstat. This is the particular file where we will have to enable it. Like couple of options are going to be here. Okay, first of all, you can see here how long to keep log files in days. Like history is going to be for 28 days. Like all the logs which are older than 28 days. So those files will be deleted. Moreover, you can define it using xzip, gzip or bzip2. SA and SAR files older than in days will be compressed after 31 days. Right? Moreover, parameters for system activity data collector. As I told you, like SAR stands for system activity reporter. So this is going to be system activity data collector, SADC, system activity data collector. Man page are available here. So -s disk options are going to be there. Moreover, where SAR command, this particular command where it is going to store the data. So that particular directory will be where log and SA. Under this particular file, under this particular directory, all the logs will be kept here. Moreover, what is the particular compression program you would like to use? So you can define here, maybe XZ, maybe bzip2 or maybe gzip. But guys, keep this thing in mind, whatever compression program you are going to use in order to compress your logs, that particular program should be installed in your operating system. Otherwise, that compression part will not work. Clear? So this is the particular configuration file for your SAR command, like how it will behave. Moreover, I have not modified anything here. etc cron.d Okay, there are two more files. Let me check the location of it. rpm-qa. Guys, do not worry for this particular command. I'll tell you, I'll explain it to you. I wanted to know the particular configuration files which are related to this particular RPM. So guys, RPM is the particular command like Red Hat Package Manager, Q for query, A for all. I'm going to query for all packages and I wanted to know only about one package. So that is sysstat. Now I want to know that what all files are created by this particular rpm-qf query for files. No file is available for this particular. I will list down the directories which are created by this. Guys, these are the particular configuration file which are related to this. This file we have already modified. This is the particular binary path of this command. This particular is the binary path of this command. Now there is one more file which we will have to modify in order to enable the data collection. Guys, there is a particular file, cron.daily and or something, where this particular file is kept. So this RPM, like on this particular version, this is a little modified. That's what I'm checking here.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, could you please little minimize the size of screen? As again, bottom side is not clear to me.
Okay, no, you don't have to worry. I can do that. Okay, guys. So if you see here, so I just have restarted this particular service is set restart, and now I shall be able to get the particular results here. Like I can define a SAR-Q. So Q stands for load average. So if you want to check the load average of this operating system, we can figure out, let us say, every 1 second for next 100 seconds, it will keep on printing the load average for me. So load average for every single second, I'm able to see here. Right, guys? Moreover, this is for load. If you want to see the particular RAM, so we can use here another option, SAR-R, R for RAM. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Moreover, if you want to see here for disk, so you can figure out here SAR-D. So for disk utilization, you can check. Right, guys? Moreover, not only this, let us say the particular traditional thing which we were talking about. So there is a directory /var log SA. So this is the particular today's date, SA30. For example, if I do not want to run this command like this, SAR-Q, and I want to ensure to read the log, maybe like it is not, let us consider it is not 30 today, and it is 30 and this particular file name is 20. Like 10 days before log, I would like to see. So this is how we can figure out SAR-Q-F SA30, which means this particular SAR command will read output or the particular data from a file. -F option we are going to utilize for specifying a file location, that which file we are going to use in order to check previous data. Are we clear with this thing, guys? Maybe we can check for disk, for RAM, for processes, whatever we want, we can check out with the help of SAR command. So SAR command does not only work for today's scenario, but this works for previous stats as well. Right, guys?
Could you please repeat this SAR command, sir? I'm not getting it.
Okay, SAR command, the meaning of SAR is system activity reporter. So we can check load average with -q option here. We can check RAM, like as I was showing you earlier as well, like SAR-R for RAM. So this -1 stands for like time interval, and this 100 for the like number of records. For example, let me change it. SAR-R, like every 5 seconds, I would like to see 10 records. So this will print RAM utilization every 5 seconds. And 10 output it is going to give. Like for next 50 seconds, this command will continue. Same thing, like if I want to see here for RAM, so I can use -R option. If I want to see here disk, -D option. If I want to see here like process and load average, I can see here -Q option. And moreover, guys, if you remember that I told you about man command. So whatever like utilization you would like to go for example, if you use -A, so A is going to print down each and everything for you. A lot of options are available here, but major options, what I was telling you, so that sort of thing you can use here. -A, that will subsequent print all the available options. Maybe -B for report your transfer, like transfer rate status. Like network value, you can figure out. If you want to use D, it will report the activity for your block device. Like transaction per second, TPS means transaction per second, total number of transferred per second that were issued to physical device, that is known as TPS. Right, like if you see the particular output here, so you will see here like KMB, like okay, not this one. We will talk about D in that particular case because we are talking about this. Okay, this is the option. So like this is TPS, this is read KB, write KB, like average request queue size, average queue size, awaiting time, and like percentage of utilization. These sort of things we are able to see here. And the particular component, let us say if you are not able to read, if you are not able to like understand any sort of thing, you can define that here. Like what is WTPS, right? Like write request per second, B request, blocks read per block reads per request, like BWRTN. What is this? The amount of data written to device in blocks per second. These sort of options are explained under the main pages of this particular command, right? Maybe like if you talk about SVCTM, what does it mean? Like average service time in milliseconds. This is showing average service time. SVC for service, TM for time. So this is average service time in millisecond per IO request that were issued to device. So for example, if this particular time is higher, so we can understand that the particular disk performance is going down. Moreover, this is A wait. Like A wait means like average wait time. That every time when an request is issued to write or read data to particular disk, how long that particular request is taking to be allocated some resources which are required to perform activity on that particular disk. Clear, guys? Not only this, obviously, like we can think of like memory, like how much amount of RAM we are using. Then after, if we want to read the data from any file, these sort of options we have available here, right? Now, for example, if we want to talk about use pages, let us say you are working with Java and other applications and you want to read about the use pages. So -H option you can use here. Maybe -I you can use for like time interval. -M for like memory. Like what is the RPM? Like what is like CPU clock speed? These sort of options you can easily figure out. So guys, if you spend a small time with this particular, so even like if you talk about SAR command, if you talk about any sort of command, whatever, any sort of information which you require related to your operating system, then SAR command is definitely going to be very, very helpful for you.
So just one question. So where output of this command will save any particular file or?
See, if you talk about output of this command, so it is saved in no place. If you want to run SAR-A command, it will display the particular command. It will display the output of this command on this particular terminal itself. There is a particular file where we can modify the particular this particular service time. Like by default, it captures record for every 10 minutes, but there is a file in this particular section only where we can modify it. Run.d, then sysstat, daily, log rotate. Not inside weekly, not inside monthly. Okay, I'll check that particular and I'll tell you that. So we can modify the particular frequency of capturing of these logs as well. And the particular question which you were asking, like where the particular like logs are stored. So guys, logs are stored within this particular file. And the location of this file is where log SA. Right?
So
guys?
file name means SA30 you have created, or it is
SA means
system generated?
system activity, and this is the date.
Okay.
Maybe if it is SA20, so maybe like today it is 30, and then tomorrow it will be 31. So this particular file will be saved here for last 28 days.
This file contains logs.
Yeah, like to last 28 days, system activity logs will be stored here. Related to disk, related to memory, your network, every sort of data will be stored here under this particular file.
Okay.
Yes. So guys, now this is about SAR command. There is one more command which usually people prefer to ask during interview. VMstat. What does it mean, guys? So let me tell you one of my personal experience, guys. When I was facing an interview with Microsoft, so a person like executed VMstat command, and the person shared the snapshot of this particular command, like only this much data he shared with me, and he wanted to know, okay, just tell me whether my system is overutilized, underutilized, or working properly. How will you identify the particular status of this particular operating system with the help of this command? Is there anyone who can help me with this?
It is not over utilized because CPU ID is 96 and weight is 1 only.
What is this CS?
CS, no idea actually. I'm not getting
What
it
is
right now.
in?
Series maybe context switch yesterday.
Yes, this is context switching. This is user utilization. This is system ideal weight and stealth value. So this is showing some different fields here for CPU, for system, for disk IO. It is showing for swap. It is showing, right? For memory, it is showing like swap. If there is any swapping happening on this particular system, how much free, buffer, and cache. So VMstat command is really helpful. So let us do one thing, rather than looking only for this particular terminal, let us go ahead and let us take another session of this particular system, because guys, this particular command is really necessary to understand. If we do not understand it, that it is definitely going to create some problems for us during interview. So what we are going to do here is we will open man and VMstat. Why again and again I'm focusing on man page? Because guys, if you really want to become a particular champ, if you want to become really proficient while you are utilizing any command, then in that case, you will need to be in the habit of reading man page. That's why even I can tell you a couple of very major options. I can definitely tell you about it. But guys, why I'm not doing that particular, why I'm trying to focus more and more on man pages, that you should also be in the habit of. First of all, let us say if you execute a command, VM state hyphen A. What it is going to print? The same information which we got with the help of this command. Same information. Now let us say if you print this particular command, like the command here is VM state hyphen S. So what does it mean, guys? If we talk about this, so it is going to display a table of various event counters and memory statics. Display does not repeat. This will happen only once. This is not going to repeat any sort of information. Guys, if you see it here, see, this is total amount of memory. This is used, active, inactive, free, buffer, swap. And if you see a non-nice user CPU ticks, non-nice, it means the particular user process which are initiated, and non-nice means that these are running with default priority. Guys, if you remember yesterday, we were talking about nice and renice command. So this much amount of RAM is being utilized by user process where no priority has been defined. Nice user CPU ticks, this much is being utilized by that. System CPU, idle CPU, IO wait CPU, right? So IRQ CPU ticks. So these are the particular information which are related to your VM state, like memories, different like segments it is showing. CPU context switches. So how much memory has been utilized at the time of context switches. So even this value can go really high time. A lot of memory can be consumed here. Why it is so? Because this value will keep on increasing. And why do I say so? Let us say if your overall amount of RAM is 1 GB, but right now that 1 GB amount of RAM is being utilized by some like process A. Next 10 minutes it will be utilized by process B, then C, then D, then E. It will keep on utilizing by some or the other processes. So in that case, this value may keep on increasing. Right, guys? Okay. Now, if we talk about,
I just want to know what is the meaning of IO CPU wait, actually IO CPU wait.
IO CPU wait. IO means input output wait, which means let us say when we are trying to execute any process and my operating system is going to take some time to initiate that, right? For example, I executed a command that I want to write some data onto disk. So how long my system is going to take in order to start that operation? That is known as IO wait. Like
it is related to disk basically.
Yes, IO is always related to disk.
Okay.
Because see, end of the day, in order to perform any operation, we need all the components to be available. Like that should be readily available with CPU, memory, disk, and all. Now, once again, guys, we are going to run this particular command vmstat, and we want to read what is this R, what is B, what is swap D, free memory buffer, like BI and BO. These were the fields which were asked to me during my interview when I was facing an interview with Microsoft organization. So somehow or the other, I cleared that round, and that was amazing story. Although I did not join that. See, what is this? Field description for VM mode. VM means virtual memory. If you talk here, this is the stats like VM stat. Virtual memory statics is the particular like meaning of this particular command. What is R? Like this is procs, right? RB. What is R? What is B? Guys, if you want, maybe you can make a note right away, or maybe you can make a note later on. So R, the number of runnable processes, running or waiting to run time. Now, what does it mean, guys? If you see here, there are two, R2. If you see, like if you run a top command here, so number of processes which are running is currently 2, right? How many processes are running here?
Sir, 2. Now 1.
One or two, like same thing, like the particular stuff which I'm trying to say, like it could be 1 or it could be 2, it could be 3. So like number of running process. What does this B mean? So this B stands for the number of processes blocked waiting for IO to complete. For example, like if there is any process, let us say, as I was telling, that my CPU and my system is 100% utilized. There is no space left in order to accept new process. But obviously I have given some command, maybe to perform some disk operation, maybe to write some file, maybe to read some file. So how many processes are blocked? It means processes are not getting resource to be completed. Resource could be memory, it could be disk IO, it could be CPU, it could be RAM, so any sort of resources. So how many processes are blocked? So this B stands for blocked processes. 0 means system is working smoothly fine, no issues at all. Right? R for runnable process, B for blocked processes, which are waiting for some resources to be allocated in order to execute or in order to complete. Right? Second section comes here for memory. Right? So when we talk about like memory, so these are the particular field. So every the amount of virtual memory used, it means swap section we are talking about. Free, we already know, buffer, cache. Now the amount of inactive memory. And what is inactive and active memory? Guys, what is inactive and active memory? Yes, guys, what is inactive and active memory? Okay, this is also your homework section. Okay,
For active memory, the current utilized memory, and the inactive one, like free one, sir.
Then what is this?
I'll check.
Sir, active memory is memory used by currently running programs, and inactive memory recently used by a program which is terminated
Are you
or
sure?
haven't been used.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Once again, go for it. This is your homework, guys. And guys, when I call this your homework, because I really want you guys to go through these sort of concepts once again. Otherwise, it will hardly take me 10 seconds to complete this. So when we talk like this particular swap, SI and SO, so what does it mean, guys? SI means the amount of memory swapped in from disk slash S per second. Amount of memory swapped to disk per second. That amount is visible here because we do not have swap. So this particular value is showing 0, 0. This value will definitely remain 0 until and unless you do not have swap enabled on this operating system. Now, if we talk about IO, so guys, these were the two fields which were asked to me, that what is BI and BO mean? So BI mean, what is this? BI and BO. So BI means block received from a block device. This is block received from a block device. And BO, like this is, you can call it in and out. Block sent out. Block sent to a block device. Send from and send to. This is, what does it mean, guys?
Send to
It's
hard
like
disk.
byte
That is
sent
the
to
end of
the hard
Hard
drive
disk.
and other connected.
Right? Absolutely right. It means we are either receiving blocks from some disk, or we are sending some blocks to a disk. Received from or sent to. BI received from, BO sent to a block device. Right, guys? So if these values
The
are
block
really
devices are like
okay, so BI means we are reading these many blocks from a disk, and BO means we are writing these many blocks to a disk. Right,
Block
guys?
devices.
Block
Block
mean
device means
disk.
hard disk. Right?
Sorry, I didn't get your voice. Come again.
Block mean disk.
Yeah,
Am I audible, sir?
not completely.
He is asking block means disk. That's correct.
Block means hard disk.
Hard disk. Okay, sir.
that HDD. Okay, the next section here is system. So in system, we have this in and this CS. What is in and what is CS? CS, definitely, like someone from you told that this is context switching. So guys, you need to understand what is context switching first. Context switching. This is the term, you can make a note of it. You are going to study what is context switching, why it is required, how do we use it. Okay, in, it means the number of interrupts per second, including the clock. CS, the number of context switches per second. So guys, you are going to study about this particular, what is context switching, why do we use it, what is use case of it. And finally, guys, like we need not to go through it once again, like what is this US, SY, ID, WA, and ST. I guess we all are aware of it, right?
Sir, I think I know context switch. Suppose if a particular process is running and if higher priority process comes, then it will go to that process and keep that running process for hold. And once that another process completed, it will come back to the current running process.
Yes, you are right.
Yes.
Great. So guys, the very next thing, what we are going to do here is, okay, are we clear with this vmstat command?
So in this vmstat, which are those important parameters which will tell us whether that system is loaded or not? That means when you execute that vmstat command.
So this is going to tell you about processes running and blocked, about memory, about swap, about disk IO, about system and CPU. Every information you can figure out here.
Okay.
Moreover, like as we were seeing here, the particular vmstat man pages for this particular command. So there are some different options, like you can talk about Fox, like different slabs, maybe like you want to remove header, you want to check stats, like you want to check only for disk, right? You want to check, like you want to check individual units, maybe in block, in KB, in MB, in GB, like what, maybe you want to add timestamp, maybe you want to have a wider output of this particular command. That sort of stuff you can use. Otherwise, end of the day, the particular stuff which you are going to get, this is going to remain same. Like more wider information you are going to get, like memory, the complete stuff, swap, IO, system, CPU. Like wide header, like we are going to have the wide header, nothing else. Otherwise, if you see information is going to remain same. Right?
What is IN, number of interrupts?
Number of interrupts, like whether it is system interrupts or whether it is hardware interrupts. So if you
Interruption
talk
in any
about-
process.
Pardon?
Is it interruption in any process?
Yes, interruption is any process, whether that is initiated by system or whether that is initiated by a user.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I hope that we are clear with this particular command, which is vmstat. We have gone through SAR command, we have gone through vmstat, and one more thing, I will figure it out. Two more commands are there which I would like to discuss with you guys. Grab says stat, rpm-ql, and then the package name. Okay. Okay. One more command, guys, here is that is known as iostat. Guys, these are the commands basically which are enabled by this particular package sysstat, like CIFS iostat. What is CIFS? Guys, any idea about CIFS stat?
File system, I think.
So CIFS stand for Common Internet File System. It means, let us say, going forward, we might study about Samba server. So when we will study about like how do we share resources between Windows and Linux operating system. So at that moment, CIFS is the particular file system which we have to enable. So in order to understand the resource utilization of that particular system, we use this particular command, which is known as CIFS IOSTAT. Moreover, IOSTAT is the command, okay, not OS prober, IOSTAT is the particular command which is going to tell you the information only for the disk related stuff. For example, IOSTAT-X empty, these are multiple switches here, 1 and 1, 1, 1. So this particular command is going to tell you the very, very detailed and granular output of this IOSTAT command. For example, like average CPU utilization by user, nice value, system, IO weightage, tilt, and idle value. Moreover, it is going to print down the information for like read per second, write per second, read MB per second, write MB per second, like read request, queue, like write request, then after wait, like read request wait, average queue size, run queue size, utilization. So these sort of information it is going to print for you. So IOSTAT command is basically utilized to check the particular disk related stuff only. That is for IO. It means input output stat.
If
The
we
same-
want to check the IOPS
Yes.
and throughput, we can
Yes.
check.
If we
this
want to
command
check
only.
throughput and IO, we can use IOSTAT command. That is one-time screenshot. If you want to go for like in detailing, X IOSTAT-X1. Right, guys? So IOSTAT command is basically used to check disk related stuff. Moreover, guys, there is one more beautiful command which is additionally installed. The command name is dstat, like disk stat. This is the command which we can install in our operating system, and this command is really, really helpful in order to understand the disk and other utilization. So dstat is the particular software, and dstat is the command as well. This command enables this package enables the command with the same package name. dstat. So total uses, disk total, network total, paging, and system. Right, guys? Even this is colorful. dstat-d. This will print only the disk, read and write. Right, guys? Read and write.
Yeah, how to actually save per second command output to a file.
You need
Like
not to
this
save
is
that.
or
You need not to save that. So, okay. SAR-D1, whatever number of output you want, /temp and data. Sorry. Okay, so if you read this particular file here, temp data, you go within this particular and you try to, it is available here. Right, every second data is available here.
so
Right.
we can use it for the dstat also, or it is only for the SAR command.
It is for any command.
Okay.
Let us say if you want to store the output of dstat here, that's it. Dstat output is here. Earlier it was for SAR, now it is for dstat. So this redirection symbol is basically used to redirect output of one command to any other file.
So here temp data is a file or means.
So temp is a directory and data is a file.
Okay, so whatever the output will means same in the same file means with different commands output will come.
So let us say I can define a dstat output. Right? So dstat output will go into this particular file now.
Can you please repeat once more dstat? My system got shut down forcefully, sir. I
Not a
don't know.
problem. So dstat command is basically used to figure out the data related to disk, CPU, memory, and all. Right? If you want to get output of this command to some specific file for future uses, so what you can do here is you can use this particular redirection symbol here. This is greater than symbol. You can redirect here. So output will be forwarded to this command. Rather than running the output on this terminal, let us say either I can run like this dstat-d. I can run this command like this, right? I do not want to print the output of this particular command on this terminal. I would like to get the output of this command to any file every 1 second, and these number of outputs I want. This is any random number I have just typed in, right? Maybe it could be 10, 15, 100, whatever number you want. That output will be redirected to this particular file. File name can be any. This is not like dstat as
Sir,
output.
before redirecting, we need to create that file.
No,
the temp file.
the particular directory, the particular file will be created automatically, but yes, the directory has to be available before.
Okay, okay.
So we can means redirect in any directory with the whatever the file name we want.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, got it.
Same thing like if we want to run like SAR command, so we can run the stuff for SAR command as well, SAR-d, then redirect it, and maybe this particular file name we can modify rather than writing it dstat. So we can define like SAR as output like this. Maybe I want that SAR command should be running every 1 second for 10 times. So after 10 seconds, this particular terminal will be freed for me because within 10 seconds, all the 10 outputs will be completed. This particular file will store the output. Yes, if I want, I can show you that.
Sir, what's the scenario when we use a vmstat command?
Okay, in order to check your system performance, like SAR command is either giving you one information, like it is telling you about your disk, about IO, about all. But if you run vmstat command, it is telling about run process, even block process, swap, memory, swap individual utilization, disk, IO system, and like this particular CPU as well.
Sir, it is very similar to top command.
Yes, it is very similar to top command. But top command does not let you know about the blocked processes.
Okay.
Top
Sir,
command.
which command we should use like for the best practice as you know?
So most of users prefer to use top command, but the particular users who are well aware of and those who are really willing to deep dive into operating system performance, then those user uses vmstat command.
Okay, sir.
Because 90% users, they do not understand even the output. Okay, like I can guarantee even those system administrators who have been working in like production environment for last 10 years, they do not understand this particular thing. What is BI, what is BO, what is IN, what is CS? They do not understand that. They just see and go away. They do not try to deep dive into it. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, when we are talking about, obviously, once again, I'll look for the another remaining command, which I was trying to see, RPM, not QC. I'll go for QL here.
Sir, what is QC?
Like to check configuration file. So guys, one more thing, like if you are using any tape device, then you can use this particular command. Tape stat, like CIFS stat, you can use here tape stat as well. So tape is the particular device which is basically used to like backup data. Moreover, you can check a status of any PID. For example, if I check here like ps-ef pipe grep httpd. If you remember, I executed a command there, right? I'll copy this PID stat. So this particular command is going to tell me the status of this PID only.
Sir, how to check NAS device if you connect?
Pardon?
How to check NAS device if you are connected NAS device for backup?
Okay, so if you want, like see, like there are two things. Designatedly, there are two type of backups devices which you can have. Either it could be SAN or it could be NAS. So end of the day, if it is NAS, that will be attached on your local system, and if it is SAN, so that will provide you LUN, like your logical unit number, that will provide you, and that will be mounted on your system, right? So iSCSI and MDStat, these are two commands basically, so which are basically used to check your NAS and that particular status of it, like MDStat. But for that, at least we need to have some like network or maybe iSCSI devices. So PID stat, and these are the particular commands which are provided by this particular package, which is known as sysstat. Okay, now one more thing, guys, which is very, very critical and which is usually discussed during interview, like how will you check open ports on any server?
netstat command के through.
Netstat, or you can define, you can run only PLANT. If you run this command, you will get to know each and every information, like what is the particular protocol, and T for TCP, P for port, L for listening, A for all, like the particular like state of it. So this sort of information, like this is a particular server IP address, this is port number, this is port number, this is our local system IP address, this is port number, this is port number. These sort of thing, like we are able to see here with the help of netstat command. And guys, one more thing here is, let us say if I want to see the port numbers which are enabled on a remote server, how will you do it? You do not have access to log into that server. How will you check the like port numbers of a remote server?
So just one question here. 4 means port is enabled, right? 11122 and 3 and 80, right?
Yes, these are the particular port. These are the port numbers which are enabled, like 111,
22 and 80.
22, and 80. These are the port numbers which are enabled.
Okay.
For example, like I want to install any new service, yum install VSFTPD maybe. This will enable port number 21.
Sir, this command will only show TCP port open.
So port 21 is also enabled. And if you define your U, so it will show the port number for UDP as well.
Okay.
So as I told you, T for TCP. So same here, U for UDP.
Sir, what's TCP UDP?
Pardon?
Sir, TCP and UDP, sir. What's the
Protocol.
Who will explain what is TCP and UDP? Nice question. In fact, I must have asked.
So UDP is connectionless protocol and TCP is connection
Connection-less protocol?
yes, sir.
Then if it is connection-less protocol, then how does it transfer data?
Sir, it will not give the acknowledgement of transfer.
See,
Yes.
acknowledgement giving or not giving is a different thing. But how it is connection-less?
Sir, it will not means perform three-way handshake. In TCP, it will perform that.
Okay. Who will explain the main difference between TCP and UDP?
UDP is
TCP is
faster.
stateless and the other one is stateful.
Yes, that is.
What does it mean?
That means in a
TCP
return port
happen-
number is not stored in UDP.
Okay, let us take it this way. I am new to this particular field. And now you have to make me understand the TCP and UDP. Go for it.
Sir, if you want to, means, if there is application which is important, such as email and which requires us to deliver properly, so we use TCP protocol. Otherwise, if we want fast service such as streaming and also DNS, we can use UDP protocol.
Okay, as we are talking right now over the network, so we are talking over TCP or UDP.
UDP, sir. Mainly UDP, but Zoom also uses, I think, TCP as well.
Are you sure that Zoom uses TCP?
No, sir. Mainly UDP, sir.
Who will tell me the difference between TCP and UDP?
So it's like one is the it's TCP it uses like handshake protocol. Like when I send some packet, so it sends me that acknowledgement that I've received this number of packet. In UDP there is no such concept as such, like when the two devices are interacting.
Go for it. Study it. Then within next session we will discuss it. Because if we do not understand TCP and UDP, then it is going to be a problematic thing for us. Okay, guys, not a problem. So first of all, we can use netstat command, and these are the particular switches. These are the particular options with this command which we can use, like PLANT, TUNLP, like whatever. Like we need to understand what is the use of P. Like if I hit this particular command with -P option only, that see what sort of information it is going to give. Like it is printing Unix socket, like protocol, ref client, flags, type, state, inode number, PID, program name, and path. Right? This is good. Like if I run only like this command PT, this is going to a protocol, receive queue, send queue, local address, foreign address, state, PID, and program name. Right, guys? If I define here N, this will add something else, like state of this particular, this is going to add something else here, like program name, and this sort of information, like additional information will be added here. Then after, if I define here T, it will tell me the like about TCP protocol only. If I define here U, so it will include UDP as well. It will give you exact like TCP, UDP, and listen state, whether it is listening or it is established mode, and P4 protocol, although you can call that the particular program name, like systemd, HTTPD, VSFTPD, these sort of program it is going to list. Right, guys? One more thing I would like to add here. There is one more command, SS -ANT, like session socket. This is also going to tell me the particular like state, receive queue, send queue, local address port, and the peer address port where from the connection is initiated for this particular server. Right? So SS and netstat, these are the command which are basically used to check these sort of information, like port information on a local system. But the same way as I was asking you a question, that if I do not have right or I do not have access to log into a remote server and I want to check the port number of it, how will I do it, guys?
Sir, Nmap.
Yes. One more thing I would like to add on here, guys. Nmap command is not legal to use. Or you can call, in other words, it is not legal to use Nmap command.
Sir, can we use Nmap then?
No commands are authorized to be executed within any network, because these commands are basically used for hacking purpose.
Nmap.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I know it is used for ethical hacking, I think.
Whether it is ethical, unethical. So if you are trying to probe the port of some remote server that is not authorized. So how will I do it? Nmap hyphen capital A, and then after the IP address of the server. So what is IP address of the server? IPR. This is the IP address of the server. So for example, at this particular moment, I have only one server. So I'm going to probe the port number of the server only, right? But you can define any IP address. I will show you both the things. Nmap hyphen capital A, and then the IP address. Just hit. This particular command is being used to check the open port numbers on a remote host. See guys, what sort of information it is publishing? First of all, it is showing that starting Nmap version of this particular service it is showing, right? Then after Nmap scan report for IP address, this is this. This is the host name. Host is up, latency is this much, right? Not shown these many ports. Port is state. This is the port number. This is state. This is service. This is version of that particular service, right? Which means port number 21, which is being used for like FTP service. Version is VSFTPD, and this is the version of that protocol. Same thing goes with like OpenSSH version 8.0, protocol 2.0 we are using for it. SSH host keys it is showing basically.
Means these information from the means EC2 instance, main server from where we are using.
Yes, where the particular services are running. Maybe port 80, TCP, Open HTTP, Apache, HTTPD 2.4.37. So guys, when I was telling you that this particular command is basically used for hacking purpose, so why did I say so? So let us say if I try to run nmap command and I know the particular version of like, guys, do you know that Google is using which particular server? Which web server Google is using? This is the IP address. That might take some time, but definitely the command is going to tell the output.
Sir, we can use firewall to block this command?
Basically not.
No.
Because
Sir,
if you
sir,
block,
how to protect
then
them?
the port 80 will not be allowed.
Okay.
Because if you do telnet or you do nmap, end of the day it is going to fetch the information from the server.
Sir, we can then protect from this command if we want to protect the server.
Well, I'm afraid to say that there is no such way that we can protect hacker. Like there is only one way. Do not allow a person to log into your network anyhow. And if you are on internet, then you are vulnerable. So that is why most of organizations do not prefer to run their like databases and their application servers on internet. Information, guys.
Sometimes it happens like port is not open on the server. So this port is being opened by us or somebody else or
So
some
the
other
particular
people.
person who has access to that particular server, only that person can do that. See guys. So it is showing like host is up, latency is this much, not shown these many ports, port up, port 80 is up, like HTTP, GWS is the version, right? HTTP request 200, okay. Date is this, expires -1, this page is never going to expire. Then after, if you talk about like, these are the particular like metadata of that particular page, right? Like if you are trying to see like fingerprint, like port number 443 is open on this particular server. Like HTTP port and HTTPS port, both ports are open on this particular server. GET request is okay. Moreover, if you talk about like method, not allowed. HTTP 405, like post method is not allowed here. So if you have this much information, then it means you can at least initiate for some sort of hacking on this particular server, because now you have good enough information, right?
But web server is not available. What kind of web server is using?
It is HTTP web server, like GWS.
So it's been developed by Google only, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they are using some sort of custom web services. Clear?
And what is the use of web firewall or Akamai we use every like you
So
also
Akamai is
Akamai
basically a content delivery network that is known as CDN. Over there, we can use WEF and Shield sort of program. These programs are used in order to serve our customer in faster way. And moreover, if we want to enable WEF, like which is known as Web Application Firewall, so we can add some rules there. For example, if there is an authentic user, so that user will not be able to access the same page maybe 3 times in a single second. We can restrict some rate there, that if request is coming from the same IP address, maybe 5 times in a single second, block it. Maybe if we are not dealing in Germany, maybe in South Korea, maybe in Japan, maybe in China. So if we are not dealing in those countries, then what we can do here is on geographical reason base, we can put restriction that if any request comes from these geographies, block the request. Moreover, if someone is trying to pass some URL, let us say if I type in a URL here, let me host something. Just for example, I'm just doing it.
Sir, anyone can also change their geographical region. Like suppose we can buy a server in USA, and from there, if suppose I'm doing.
So I have created a file here. Now I'll go back to this particular section. I'll try to open it on port 80. Yes. This is a test page, right, guys? This is my web server. This is working on this IP address. This is DNS name of that particular server. So this is a test page. Now, why I'm trying to show you this? So guys, if I try to pass on here, let us say is like slash ABC equal to like user equal to, let us say Lokendra and colon passwd equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I try to pass these sort of strings here where username is defined, where password is defined, then definitely this sort of URL will be blocked on Akamai level only. That particular request will not be forwarded to like this web server, and the user will not see these sort of things. User access will be blocked in advance before sending the request to web server in order to show that page not found. So these sort of requests are known as SQL injection. So maybe that is SQL injection, that is cross-site scripting. Maybe if you are interested to know like what sort of attacks usually people can perform, so what you can do here is like you can like Kona, there is a particular book, Kona rule book for Akamai. Okay, I guess like we might need to have some sort of like login credential we need to have in order to download that book. So these are some of the particular services which Akamai offers. But if we talk about like release notes, then we might need to log in and we might need to create our account on Akamai first, because the particular book is not available for open. That is not available for all. Like we can talk about web performance. If we are trying to learn about Akamai, we can use Akamai as adaptive acceleration, like API gateway, cloudlets, cloud test, dynamic site like escalator. So these sort of component like Akamai is offering as of now.
Does it also monitor the what kind of a request if somebody is monitoring us with the remote tool and all, like in
Pardon?
Nmap, is Nmap?
Yes, basically. So if you are talking about Nmap, so Nmap produces some specific kind of request. So if multiple requests are coming, so you can block that here. But that will not be blocked by Akamai. So Akamai provides some additional features. Let us say when we are talking about WAF, like web application firewall, and the particular service which are known as your site sealed. So these sort of services are used to block these sort of requests. By default, Akamai cannot block these requests. But yes, if you go with additional subscription, maybe Shield and WAF, then in that case, Akamai will detect and will prevent these sort of requests going forward to your server. Okay, so now let us go ahead. So yes, guys, we are talking about this particular Nmap. So guys, are we clear with utilization of Nmap and a netstate command? Like when do we use netmap, like Nmap? When do we use netstate command? When do we use ss command? Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the particular next thing comes here is that is package management. Now, guys, what is package? So let me show you something here. RPM is a command, and RPM-QA, Q for query, A for all. If I run this command, then all the available packages which are installed within this operating system, these are listed down here. Now, what do we see here? What is the use of this? What do we see here? So guys, first of all, when we see here K mode, this is the name of software. Now, if anything is defined here, K17, this is the version. EL stands for Enterprise Linux. 8 is the version, like it could be EL6, EL7, EL8. So this is Enterprise Linux version, and this is the architecture, like x86-64. If we see a no arc, it means whether it is x86-64, it is i686, or any sort of architecture that will support. No arc type of softwares can be installed on any type of architecture, whether that is x86-64, whether it is i686, whether it is ARM. So any sort of architecture will support this type of software, which is of no arc type, right? So over here, I'm going to figure out any individual ones. So let us talk about that. We want to know about VSFTPD. So this is like command RPM-QA. This is pipe. Pipe means, why do we use pipe? So let us say I want to run a command grep, right? And I want to look for FTP, right? So it will not work. Why it is so? Because first of all, I will have to provide some input to this particular command. So how I'm going to put input? RPM-QA pipe, then grep FTP. So which means the particular output, which is this. This is the output which is produced by this particular command, right? So guys, the particular output of this command, I want to utilize as input for this particular command. So output of this particular command will be treated as input for this command. So how did it work? All the list, whatever was supposed to be printed on this terminal. So this particular pipe did not let this command to print the output on terminal, but it supplied this output as an input to this grep command. So guys, grep means general regular expression parser. general, regular, expression, parser. This is the full form of grep command. GREP, grep. Grep is really a powerful command, and this is used in day-to-day activity whenever you would work, or if you are still working as a like Linux administrator, then you will get to know that so many times we have to filter out the output of a command in order to get some specific data.
Sir, just here one question.
Please go ahead.
As you means grep command will take some output, then it will be work on that. So where it means RPM slash QA means where it is output is coming. It will means the output will come anywhere. Then it will be go to the and search.
No. So basically, if I remove this pipe symbol, then this command will not work. Why it is so? This pipe is holding the output of RPM-QA command on temporary basis. Once the output is collected by this pipe, then it will be supplied as input for grep command.
So output will be means any means any terminal or any means file. It will be output will come and then it'll grab from there.
Yes.
that.
So for example, if you remember last time we were running a command cat/etc passwd, right?
Yes.
So now the output of this particular file is provided as input to this particular command, and how the output is held with the help of this pipe command. Pipe command is basically used to hold output of a command, and then it can supply the same output as input to some other command. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I was trying to show you here is, first of all, if you see here, so VSFTPD, this is the name of software. When we call it, like sometimes we can call it software, sometimes someone can call it a package. So this sort of thing we need to understand, that what is a package and what is software. So guys, the name of software here is VSFTPD. The particular hyphen is a particular distributor, or you can call it a divider. If you remember guys, initially when we executed a command like known as nmap, if you remember, then this was showing 3.0.3-34. This one was the version of that particular package, right? Do you remember that? Let me run the same command again. IP-R, IPR, this is the version. Let us figure it out. And map-capital.
Sir, what's the use of this IPR command?
So this is to figure out the IP address. Most of people like to prefer if config command. We will talk about that as well. But for now, whenever I need to figure out IP address of any machine, I can run IP-R command. So yes, guys, if you see here, what is the version of VSFTPD? 3.0.3. And what is here? 3.0.3. Whatever is defined within 2-. This is software version. Now 34 is the number of release for enterprise Linux 8, and the architecture is x86-64. So this is how we identify any software package. Okay. If I define here HTTPD, then so there are multiple packages, but the main package here is this one, right? HTTPD is the software name. What is this? 2.4.37, right? Let us check it here. 2.4.37. This is the version. Right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So what is happening here, if we need to identify the version of any software, so first of all, the package name, or you can call that the software name. Then after we have this particular component here known as version. Then after release, module, enterprise Linux 6, this is the hash basically, and this is the architecture. Right, guys?
Software and package is same. You want to say.
Software, sometimes will like you can call it software, sometimes you can call it package. Both are same. Why I'm telling you both the things? Because you should not get confused. Because even I'm in the habit of sometimes like I can call it like, okay, let's look for the package, let's look for the software. But in Linux, majority of people, majority of Linux administrators would like to call it package.
Sir, the repo is also same.
Repo is something different. We are going to go to that.
Okay.
So are we clear? Like how do we identify the like version name, software, and the particular architecture?
Yes, but in the Ubuntu, how would we check? With the help of the ept search command or show package command or something like dpkg.
So dpkg is a particular command there.
Mhm.
dpkg.
I preferably use.
Yes, what did you say?
So this RPM will show all the packages, right, in the system.
Right.
RPM
So
-QA.
RPM-QA is the particular command to check all available packages. Now, RPM-QA has some other options here. For example, QL. If I run this command, so it will say that no argument given for query. For example, if you see here, I executed a command RPM-QA VSF like FTP. So this package was provided to me, the software was provided to me, right? Now, if I want to understand that how many packages or how many directories are created by this particular software. See, if I am going to work with any software, with any tool, then what do I need to do? I need to understand like what are the directories, what are the files which are created by this particular RPM, right? How will I be able to configure? Let us say I need to identify the configuration file of that particular service. I'm quite new to it, but I know some ways that how I can start working with it. For example, RPM-QL. If I type in this particular, like the command is going to be RPM-QL VSFTPD version name and everything I will type in here. So first of all, it is going to say that if you need to log, like if you need to rotate the logs for VSFTPD service, then this is a particular file. You can go here and you can check. Moreover, there is a particular file etc PAM. PAM stands for Pluggable Authentication Module. This is known as Pluggable Authentication Module, which means if you need to restrict or if you need to secure your VSFTPD, then you can do something like some other modification within this particular file. Now, the main directory for VSFTPD is etc VSFTPD. This is the directory. Now, if you want to restrict any user or if you want to allow any user, you can modify this file. Like if I open this particular file, now we know the VIM editor up to some extent. So like, see what is written here, users that are not allowed to log in via FTP. So for example, guys, if there is a situation when I am requested to block any user to log into this server, what will I do? EC2-user. I will define the username within this file, and even that user will not be allowed to do SFTP or maybe FTP service use. Right, guys?
Yes.
If someone is going to ask you, okay, like I want to block some users to do FTP, how will you do it? So there is a file etc VSFTPD and FTP users. This is the particular file which I will block here. Right, guys? Okay. Moreover, there is another file here like user list. So why do we use this user list option here, guys? Let us see it here. So like VSFTPD user list. If user list underscore deny equal to no, only allow users in this file. Now the same options are kept here as well, if you see. But if you say user list deny no, then all the users within this particular file will be allowed. And if the particular configuration file like user list underscore deny equal to yes, then never allow users in this file. No one, like whosoever is allowed here will not be able to access. So this particular file will be managed inside this particular configuration file. That is the main configuration file actually. VSFTPD user list. So user list deny, no, it means allowed. So this is just a little contrast basically. I'm going to tell you like how do we manage this. But for now, guys, remember this thing. We can manage users from these two files here, but you need to understand it first. The particular thing which we are trying to discuss here is that what all configuration files are available, what all configuration files we can use to allow or block users with the help of RPM command. So I'm not telling you anything about VSFTP here, but I'm trying to tell you that if you need to figure out the particular softwares, the particular files, the particular folders which are created by this particular package, that sort of things we are trying to figure out here. Right, guys? One more file we have here, that is vsftpd.service. Okay, that is etc vsftpd/vsftpd.conf. This is the file. So if you see here, anonymous enable no, local enable yes, route write enable yes, umask is going to be this, and like anonymous make dir, these sort of configuration files we have. When we will study about VSFTPD, then we will explore these options in detail. So guys, the particular thing which I was trying to explain, user list enable equal to yes. Do you, I hope that you are able to correlate it with user list file.
Yes, sir.
So where do we use this FTP one? I'm not understanding. Like, what's the use case like?
So FTP means file transfer protocol. For example, if you want to allow your organization people to upload some their data into some common server, then we can use FTP. You can call that file server.
So sometimes in real time working, are we allowed to do, or like we have been told like this?
So in real time, FTP is never used. Reason being, FTP is non-secure protocol. It transfers data in plain text mode. If some username and passwords are enabled, and if you try to capture packet with the help of maybe Packet Tracer, maybe Wireshark, or maybe any other tool, if you try to use, maybe you want to use TCP dump, then in that particular case, your username and password will be captured in plain text format. So rather than using like this particular VSFTPD as a plain text, we use SFTP service.
Secure FTP.
Yes, secure FTP that works on the port number 22 itself.
Like SSH.
Like SSH. But in order to understand, in order to like initiate with this, we should be knowing about FTP and VSFTPD package and service and all. But for now, you need to understand the particular command which I was trying to execute here, RPM-QL, right? What all the packages are available, what all software, like when we install this particular software in our operating system, what all files and directories are created with this, right? Now, let us talk about same thing. We can talk about HTTPD as well. Okay, now let us talk about this one. So what is the command? RPM-QL and then the particular package name. Now, guys, if you see here, once again, we will have to scroll this up. Oh my God, this brings a lot. Okay, so first of all, guys, you can see here etc httpd and conf is the directory here. Then after we have another directory conf.d, user dir, welcome.conf, conf.module. These are the particular files here. The main configuration file for HTTPD service is etc httpd and the particular conf.d. This is the particular main configuration file for HTTPD service. Right, guys? Okay, if you talk about like the particular logs, so your logs will be stored here, etc httpd logs, and this particular will have a link in /var log and httpd as well. These are some like run module here. Then after we have where the PID is going to be created like /run httpd, these are the files which are going to be created by this package if it is going to be installed in our operating system. Moreover, where the cache will be stored, so where cache httpd, where cache httpd proxy, if you are going to use proxy with httpd, then this will be stored here. Logs are going to be captured in this particular location. So I hope the particular use of this command is clear to you guys.
So if it's configured in Linux, so here we can find the files. It's common for all organizations.
Yes, so that is that is for Red Hat operating system only, because right now we are trying to study Red Hat operating system, RPM command fix with Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, and especially or Amazon Linux.
Okay.
Ubuntu will have some different configuration system. Ubuntu will have some different command to be executed, but right now we are majorly focusing on Red Hat only. So if you want to see only configuration file, QCC for configuration file, you can figure out here. So this is going to show only the configuration file. C for configuration file. Okay.
L was for?
Pardon?
L was for?
L for like listing directories and files. That will list everything.
Sir, app for?
L for basically logs
App.
at RPM.
App, sir, app. QApp.
QF, I did not use that.
So previously you did, I think.
That was QA.
No.
Okay, I will come to that. Need not to worry. Okay, so guys, if we see here QC, it means this is going to print the directories which are configuration file related to VSFTPD. The command is rpm-qc, then the particular package name. Now, for example, I know the particular package for this. I know the particular package for this VSFTPD. But for example, there is a command user add. I hope that each one of us know it very well, that user add is a command, right? Now I want to know that which particular RPM is responsible to provide this command. Which particular RPM is responsible to provide this command? I'll run a command which, after that I will define here command name. So what is the command? Which user add. Now it is going to give me the exact path of that particular command, that is usr-bin user add. Now once again, now I see guys, now I'm doing something reverse. Up to now I had an RPM and I was trying to know the files which are created by that. But now guys, I have a particular file. Now I'm trying to know the RPM which created this. Command is going to be your rpm-qf query for file. This. So now this will take me to the particular RPM, which is responsible to create this particular maybe a command, maybe the particular script file or whatever. Not only this, for example, there is a particular file which is etc passwd. Remember? If I want to know like which file is responsible to create that file, how will I do it? rpm-qf, then the particular file name. So if I know the file name with the help of rpm-qf command, I can reach out to an RPM, and if I know the particular RPM, then I can find that what all files are created by that particular RPM. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Any questions so far?
So here I'm not getting like here are user list. So they are real-time user, matlab, or like the network devices are the user list.
Like this particular file you are talking about.
Yes, sir. And yeah, yeah.
Okay. etc vsftpd user list. So grab maybe root and etc password that is available here.
Yes.
That is available here.
Hmm.
That is available here. Nobody that is available here. So all the users are system users basically. And these are real users which are available on this operating system.
So these are the part of SBIN log, no login, right?
Yes, these are part of SBIN no login.
So these are not logged in user, right? These
Right.
are the system
Right.
user.
We are system users. So are we clear so far, guys? Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you. Let us say if I have a particular package rpm-qa grep and httpd, we have executed this command couple of times before as well. So guys, let us say I have this particular package. I want to know that what are the dependencies of this package. So guys, the question here is, how do I find the dependencies? If you remember, guys, I only executed this command, yum install httpd, and these packages are automatically installed with this. I did not install these packages, right?
Yes.
So like how these other packages are installed? Because these are known as dependencies of this particular package. And the package here is this. If I want to figure out the dependencies, how will I do it? rpm dash qp and the package name. The command here is, yes, please go ahead.
So I'm not able to understand like how will I apply it? Like I'm getting the
Okay.
info, but
For example, you are trying to install any software within your operating system. I'm coming to that particular part only, that that first of all, that will generate the requirement, right? So for example, you are trying to install this particular package in your operating system. Let us consider this is yet not installed. Let us remove it. Yum remove httpd star. Like everything related to httpd will be removed.
okay.
Right? Now, let us say I want to install this package in my operating system. I will have to download this particular package from internet first. Let us say I need to download it. Download httpd for RHEL 8, for example, right? So guys, there are a lot of options available here. Like we can download package from directly here, like download RPM packages. This is official Red Hat website. We can download the particular package from here itself. This is newer version available, so we can download it from here. Yeah. Wow, it is showing me that you are not able to download it. I'll download from CentOS. This is the RPM. What I'll do here is I will download that RPM. Guys, there is a particular command to download anything from internet. The command is wget. If you work with any organization, then definitely multiple times you will have to install this particular, you will have to use this command, yum install wget. This particular command you will run only once, and after that you will use this command a lot of times. Wget to download anything from internet or from any remote URL. So guys, if you see that I have this particular package here, this is the particular package name. Guys, what is the version of this particular package?
2.4.
2.4.
Right. Now I need to install it. RPM dash. How do we install a software package? -I, RPM dash I for install, V for verbose, H for hash. It means it will install the package for me. Moreover, it will show the progress of installation, and after that it will run a particular hash string under the progress bar like this. But guys, see, I'm getting some error here. Guys, if you remember, there were a couple of packages like HTTPD file system. Then after HTTPD tool, there are some of the libraries which are required for this. Do you see this? So guys, in order to install any software, not only software is required. First of all the dependencies which are required by that software will have to be installed within the operating system. Now, what are the dependencies here? When I'm trying to install this package, it is telling me very easily. So what I can do here is I can download this particular file system. Now, what is the file system version? 2.4.52. So I'll go back to that particular site. I'll try to figure out here. So there will be some file system package also available. What I'll figure out here is not this. I'll go and I'll figure out for this particular package, right? See, we will have to look for the same version, 2.4.52. This is the one.
Yes, sir.
We will copy this and we will download it once again. That is also downloaded. Now let us try to install it. RPM-IVH. That is installed, right? Moreover, now if I try to install another package, will it work? No. It says that I need still one package which is known as httpd-tools. So what we will do here is we will once again go back to this particular page and we will look for the particular package which is httpd-tools.
Hello, sir. Can you
Yes.
scroll down a little? Sir, here there is CentOS 9 stream and CentOS 8 stream. So what is that?
See, end of the day, the particular software package which we are trying to install here is, so these are like stream. It means multiple operating systems are available and you can have one higher version of software like that is running on any operating system. That does not make a difference here.
Stream meaning, sir?
So like these are some version of Red Hat CentOS.
Okay.
So obviously like we will download this particular as well. We will download it, wget, we will download it, then after we will install it. Now the command which we are going to use, rpm-, What is it? I for install,
VH.
and the particular progress bar which was shown here, that was for V, and H for hash, HTTPD tools. Now it says that it needs some further dependencies here. Like lib APR -1 dot show, this is also required. Now lib APR utils -1 dot show, it is also required. So guys, when we are talking about these sort of dependencies and these sort of dependencies resolution, it means we will have to download and install these dependencies one by one. So one by one, we will have to download dependencies from internet and we will have to install it, right? As you see it here, so obviously it could be possible that once I will try to download this, so it might ask for other dependencies. When I will install it, it might ask for some other dependencies. So in order to reduce this sort of hassle-free installation of software, there is one another way that is known as Yum. Yum is a package manager for Red Hat operating system. Now guys, if I need to check like what all packages are installed, rpm-qa, Q for query, A for all, grep httpd. Only this is the particular package which is installed. I'll do one thing, rpm-ee for erase. If we have to remove something, then we can use this option -ee for erase. So it will remove the particular package from the operating system. Right, guys?
Erase and remove is same thing or what?
Yes, erase and remove. If we are working with Yum, then we will have to define remove. If we are working with RPM, then we can define -e for erase. Okay. So now if you see what I will do erase, there is a particular command known as Yum. Yum install httpd. So guys, it will not only install the package, but it will install. If you remember, there was some like APR package required, APR utils, HTTPD file system, Mailcap, Mode HTTPD2, Red Hat logos, like util 8, like BDB, OpenSSL. So these are the particular package required, because see, when we started installation of that particular HTTPD package, so we were at the beginning only. I was telling you that it could be possible that the particular like lib APR which I was trying to install, that might require some other dependencies. Once I'll install it, that might require some other dependencies. Once I install that, that might require some other dependencies. Only this one was the package which was installed, and remaining package like HTTP tools I was trying to install, right? So that required some other dependencies. So it could be possible that if you are trying to install only single package, you might end up installing 30 packages. Because until and unless all the dependencies are installed, the particular actual software will not work as per expectation or as expected. Are we clear with that?
Yes, but somehow if we need to install some kind of a package or application which has some older version and dependencies are not there, so how would we do that?
Okay, I'll come on to that as well. First of all, let us hit it here. Let us install it. And this is hassle-free. Everything is done. Now, guys, there is a particular directory in Red Hat, etc yum.repos.d. Over here, if you see, there are a couple of files available, like 2 files are available in Red Hat. Client.repo, this is a particular repository. If you go to this particular site, so over here, you will find that multiple packages are available. Packages means softwares. Multiple softwares are available here. What is then what is the URL of it? Okay, this is mirror list only. Okay, wait. there is some problem with DNS service. That's why it is not opening. Like my ISP is not providing right DNS service right now. That's why it is creating problem. Otherwise, this URL is working from here.
Sir, can you share the link in chat?
Just a moment. RHUI3 reason.
Can we use telnet instead of ping? Like when do we use these things?
No, actually, like name or service not resolved. So there is some problem with this URL itself. Okay, wait. So yes, you were saying something about like there is a particular directory here. We need to keep this thing in mind. For example, I need to install PHP.
Mhm.
So if you see here, PHP 7.2.24 version is available, right? PHP CLI, PHP Common, PHP FPM, these are the packages which are going to be installed here. But let us say that you do not want to install this version of PHP. You want to install either higher or lower version of PHP on this operating system. That was the question, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So what I will do here is I will go to Google for sure. I will look here for like PHP EPEL for 7.4, right? Maybe 5.6, whatever. But guys, keep this thing in mind. If you are trying to install a lower version of PHP on any operating system, that might require to downgrade so many packages. So let us say if it is TechMint, what I will do here is
Also, whenever we install any package, then it will be the means install updated version, right?
right, it will install updated version. But if there is a like any specific requirement wherein you need to download any like lower version, then that is also possible, but that is not recommended basically. For example, now I'm going to run this particular, I'll copy this particular and I will install it here. So guys, if you see here,
PL is package.
There is one more file created, like epal.repo is created, which was earlier not available. epal-testing.repo, that is also installed here, that was already not available here, right? These two files are available, which were not available earlier, right? Moreover, if you want to download something else here, like there is one other repository for CentOS 7. And guys, this is just for sample purpose. I'm telling you because this is for CentOS 7. For CentOS 8, the higher version is recommended. But I'm just telling you that you can do these sort of things in order to enable some additional repositories on your operating system.
Well, is a package for PHP.
So these particular repositories are going to enable additional packages for PHP version. Like this is REMI, REMI, REMI. So the particular version is going to be 7.9 here. Now let us say there is a particular command yum clean all. So guys, what does this command do? This command is basically going to clean all the cached memory within yum. Like all the previous data, whatever it had within its cache. So it has removed all. Now we will run a command yum list. If this command is working fine, like this particular is performing something, which means currently our yum server is working properly and it is trying to extract data. It is trying to get in sync with the remote repository, whatever we have configured. Yum list is the particular command. Now you can see like EPEL. So like most of people call it Apple. So that is not Apple, that is known as EPEL, which means extra packages for enterprise Linux. EPEL. What does it mean, guys? What is
Extra packages.
Yes, not Apple. That is extra packages for enterprise Linux. So guys, these are the particular package available. Now what we are going to do here is we will hit a command grep, and then we will figure out PHP. So we want to try out the PHP version only. So PHP 8.1 version is available here. 8.0 is available here. PHP 7.4 is available here. And you can figure out like RAMI. So RAMI is the repository where from the package will be downloaded. 7.3 version is available here. So which version would you like to install, guys? 7.2 is available here.
Latest.
So latest is 8.2 only. Like 8.1.
Sir, this yum list shows which repository
All repositories.
or repository means in internet, right?
Not on internet. Whatever are configured here within our operating system over here.
Okay, current operating system.
Yes, so like it is showing like RAMI 5.4, 7.0, 7.1, 2, 3, 4, 8.0, 8.1.
These are pre-installed download, right?
So if you remember, I executed these two commands here. Yum install, first of all, this one,
Yes.
and second one, this one. So these two commands have enabled additional repositories within my operating system. So these are the particular repositories which I have just enabled.
RAMI stands for?
So RAMI is a particular organization which works majorly on PHP platform only.
Okay, okay.
Like EPEL stands for enterprise, like extra packages for enterprise Linux. Same thing, like RAMI is specially used for PHP versions only. For example, you want to enable or disable anything.
Okay.
You want to enable or disable any repo. So what you can do?
So we can install EPEL as per our requirement, like for PHP, for Apache, for any other like packages.
So let us say you want to configure any repository, or you want to enable or disable any repository. There is a command yum-config-manager-enable EPEL, or if you don't want to enable it, you can go for disable. Right? For example, you do not want to use this particular EPEL for now. All the packages which are available within EPEL, you do not want to list. You can disable it. Yum-config-manager-disable, then the particular repository name you can define. Now, if you run a command yum clean all, then if you try to run a command yum list pipe grep EPEL, if you remember, we had two EPEL repositories here, right? EPEL testing repo and EPEL.repo, right? So it will not print anything from EPEL, only EPEL testing will be available. So like,
Sir, my concern is EPEL repositories is only for like a particular package.
come again? No, basically. So EPEL includes a lot of packages. So let us say if I enable this time, if you remember that I disabled it, I'm going to enable it once again. Right?
Sir, these are third-party packages?
Yeah, these are third-party packages that might include PHP, MySQL, and other packages as well. I'm going to list down the EPEL packages only this time. So last time, if you see, like only one package was available. That was like EPEL release no architecture. But this time I'm going to list all the packages which are provided by EPEL repository.
We have to install EPEL only in the case if the packages are not available.
Right. If your required packages are not available, only then you are going to use it. Otherwise, for example, I want to count it. So there is a command wc-l. I can figure out like number of packages which are provided by EPEL. Like 13,495 packages are available within this EPEL repository. Now, if I want any of the package to be installed, I can do that.
then need to install some packages from EPEL. So same command we will use or some other commands used to to
Same command
specify the EPEL.
like yum install package name, and that is done.
Okay, okay.
I don't know like what this particular package is going to do, but I just wanted to install it. I have done it. Right? So yum install then package name like httpd -y. If it is already installed, it will print that package and the latest version is already available. Right? Is already installed. For example, now there is one more trick I would like to tell you. For example, there is a local RPM available. Like if you remember that we downloaded something from internet, like this package we downloaded, and we want to install this package with the help of yum command. So how do we do that? So even yum is capable enough to install any local packages. How do we do that? Yum local install /root like this. We can define the complete package. Obviously, that was not supposed to be installed because we already have some package installed, right? But that was just for your example only. So the command here is yum local install. Right, guys? Are we clear with that?
Sir, but in case we download the package with the help of wget, so in that case we need to install the dependency as well one by one.
Okay. So let me tell you. So in that particular case only, let us say if you forget to install the dependency, first of all, yum is basically used to install dependencies automatically.
Yes, in case of wget.
In case if you downloaded any package, right, from internet, and now you are
Right, sir.
trying for the dependency. So let us say rpm-qa pipe grep httpd. So the particular command which I was actually trying to tell you that moment in order to figure out dependencies. So rpm-qpr, this is the particular command which is used to figure out the dependencies. So these are the dependencies of that package. If you need to install httpd package, then you will have to install these softwares as well.
Means, sir, with wget in one go, we cannot install the dependencies.
No, RPM command will not allow you to install packages until unless it does not have any dependency. But if you have any dependency, that you will have to figure out like QPR, this is the particular tool. These are the libraries which are required by this particular package. Moreover, when you will install these packages, then this itself will tell you that some other packages are required to be installed in order to install this package. That is why RPM is not recommended, and RPM is not a preferred command to work within any production environment. Only yum is used to install packages along with all dependencies.
Sir, is there any way to download the dependencies with wget as well in one go?
No, actually. So if you know the particular URLs, for example, you know very well that only 25 dependencies are there, and you will have to figure out the particular dependencies over internet. Let us say we were working on the CentOS side. So what you can do here is, let us say httpd. If you figure out here, so let us say if this is the particular version, and you know very well that these are the particular packages which are required, and these are the dependencies of it. So if you can make a note of all these dependencies in one go, then you can download multiple packages from here with one wget command only. How will you do that? Let me tell you. So that is very straightforward. Let us say this is first package. Wget this one, give a space, and after that this one. You can download two packages with one command.
Sir, can we use yum for installing third party apart from EPL?
Yes, you can use that, like yum local install is the command, define the package, and that's it.
No, sir, not local. Not local.
You mean to say like Tomcat installation and Jenkins and others, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So let us say if you are trying to install any third party, for example, let me look for you like Tomcat RPM 4 RHL 8. You will have to look out for an RPM of Tomcat. So let us say if this is the particular software, right? Just go down, look for the binary file of Tomcat. Just download it first, like wget, define the package name. Tomcat is downloaded, like yum. That is it. It will not work because it requires Java to work. See, some dependencies are required here. Like Apache Tomcat lib, this is the package required. Right? And some other packages are required by Tomcat. But yes, the particular concept says that yes, you can install any third-party library along with this particular command, which is yum local install. I guess the particular concept is clear here. Just what we have to look here is for the like Tomcat libraries, Apache Common Daemon. These sort of things are required here. Okay. So I hope that we are good with package management. One more thing I would like to tell you. Let us say we do not know like what particular RPM to install. So there is a command yum provides. Let us say HTTPD. I want to know that like what particular package is providing this particular service. So it is going to provide you the particular list of packages which you can install. For example, not HTTPD, let us say nmap. Yum provides nmap. It will tell you the particular packages which can provide nmap command. Right? For example, there is a particular command wget. It can provide you the particular package name. So yum provides, and after that, if you define the particular software name, then it can tell you the particular package names as well. That this is the software which you need to install in order to work. For example, I do not know about NFS. Yum provides NFS. It provides me the particular packages. No package available for now. NFSD. No package available for this as well. SSHD. See, this is the one. OpenSSH server. Like if you define any right application name, if you define any right service name, then it will definitely help you out in order to figure out that what package will be required to install in order to enable this sort of service. Are we clear with that, guys?
Yes.
Now, if you hit yum command, so it is going to give you really some of the very important, very interesting things. First of all, let us say, like if you run a command like yum alias, like list or create alias command, auto remove, it will remove all unneeded packages that were originally installed as dependencies. For example, if you want to check the particular problem in package database, you can run a command yum check. For example, if you were trying to install any package and right now you have installed some unwanted packages as a dependency which are not required now, your yum is not allowing you to install any new packages, so you can run a command like yum check. So this will check the particular your package database, and obviously like there is no issues, so that is why you are going to see this. Otherwise, it will provide you the particular description of all the errors. Moreover, you can run a command yum clean, remove cache data, which we were doing yum clean all dep list in order to check the dependency list. The particular command which we were running at the time of rpm -q capital P capital R. Same thing we can do here with the help of yum dep list. Destro sync, like if you want to like synchronize your distribution with some other, if you want to downgrade any package, if you want to group list of services, like you can run a command yum group list. Let me show you that. Yum group list. I guess yum is not working for now. So guys, I guess the particular concept of package management is clear, right?
I still have one confusion in wget and EPL.
Okay.
EPL we used to use in the case the like particular version or package is not available. We used to download EPL, right?
Right.
And wget is the same, like we have to download some software, then we use wget.
Not software exactly. I must not call that you have to use wget to download any software. You can download anything. It could be jar file, war file, it could be any sample file, it could be any zip file or whatever. So wget is a basically command line utility to download anything from remote URL.
Okay, but sir, in case of wget, we need to download a dependency as well.
See, like dependency downloading is a different thing, because right now why we are downloading dependencies, because we are working with package management, right? Otherwise, if you talk about in general, so it is not required to download dependencies. If we are working with yum, no only to download dependencies. But yes, wget command you can use in order to download anything. For example, I need to download this index.html file. If you remember here, if you see that I was trying to access this particular web page here, that will not work because I have uninstalled it. Like yum install httpd -y. This is the command which we use. I guess that is already available. We will go to /var www.html and we will create a file here vim index.html. This is a test page. We will restart the service, like service httpd restart. Right? We have restarted the service. Let us go here on this particular page. We will refresh it and this will show this is the test page. Now, for example, if I want to download this particular index page, what will I do here is wget So I have downloaded that index.html page here. Not only that, let us say wget maybe youtube.com or maybe google.com. So if that is connecting to internet and you are able to access it, which means you are able to download anything from there. So my dear, wget is not only used to download the dependencies for RPM packages. You can check connectivity with any website if you are able to download index page of any website, which means internet is working on your system. Maybe if it is required to download anything from remote server, you can download that.
Okay. But in case if dependency is required, then repo is the best solution, right? As compared to wget.
I could not hear you, buddy.
EPL is the best solution in case like dependency is required.
Yes, in that case, we can use wget command to download dependency from
download the EPL.
Yes.
Hello.
So we can download dependencies if required. Otherwise, yum is used to install dependencies automatically.
If in case the dependency is required, then we should have EPL.
I think he's saying that in case of dependencies is required, do we need to use EPL dot repo?
Okay.
Yes. So basically, let us say the question was earlier as well, the same question someone asked, that if we want to upgrade or downgrade any other version of software, do we need to configure EPL? Yes, we need to configure. But let us say if even that EPL does not have all the dependencies, do we need to download it from open internet? Yes, we need to download that as well.
But what is in the case of the minor version? If we have to upgrade the or update the minor version?
Okay, so in that particular case, we need to first of all check like what operating system version we are using and what is compatible version of that application which we are going to install. Like if you want that you need to install maybe PHP 2.2 with RHEL 8, that will not work.
Actually, yesterday I was working on the production environment. Actually, we have some kind of MySQL Community Server Edition. So it's a minor version is 5.7.36 is a minor version. I have to update to the 3.7, the 0.37. So I got the I have downloaded the package from the .deb file. It is in the Ubuntu. But when I install it with the command dpkg-i, so it shows me already the this version is installed because the 0.36 version has been installed on that. So I'm not able to update to that version. So might be I'm missing something in that.
Could be possible because if there is a minor version difference, then Ubuntu will not stop you. So you can force install that. But before performing these sort of activities, like backup should be taken.
Yeah. I took the backup. After that, I only did the testing.
Yes. So guys, now let us move ahead with disk management. So do you have any questions so far? Like the particular things what we have discussed, can you please list down anyone? Let us see. Well, let me ask a couple of questions to you guys. The particular topics which we have studied so far. Anyone?
So what we have to, I have to recap your session.
Yes.
Oh, it's it's not very Lokender would be Lokender. Lokender would be can't be Ankit.
Yeah, it's long session. We can stop, I think.
Okay, not today's session. I'm just curious to know about the topics within previous sessions and yesterday, today's sessions. So I have one question. Let me ask random questions to all of you. Okay, I have first question to Numan. What other type of files do we have in Linux operating system?
So I think we have 7 type of files: block files, directories, normal files, and character files.
Okay. Next question. What is use of character file?
So for a terminal, use for input output stream.
So we have to be specific. The particular files which are used to get output of our executed command, those are known as character files. That could be printer, that could be monitor, that could be terminal.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, next question to Anmol. Amol Pawar. Amol, what are block devices?
Block devices. Sir, I'm actually here for a demo lecture. I have no idea about Linux.
Not a problem. Kamal.
Yes, sir.
What is block device?
devices as hard disk.
Okay. I'm getting the reference, not a problem. Okay, Ankit. Can you please tell me some use case of special file
Hello?
permission?
Am I audible?
Ankit,
Yeah.
can you please tell me
Hello?
some use case of like special
Am I
file?
audible? Sir, I'm audible?
No, Kamal, you are not actually. Ankit,
Yes.
what are
I want
use case of
to
special file permissions?
special file permission like the chatter command. We can use the chatter command, change attribute. If we want to make the file not to be deleted by the root user.
Right, just a moment, getting a call from office. Just a moment. Yes, guys, sorry. That was something urgent from office and that keeps on going, not a problem. Yes. Yes, Ankit, you were telling something about that file permission thing.
Yes, in the special file permission, we have the SUID, SGID, sticky bits, and the chatter. Chatter we can also use on
Okay. Now,
kind
what
of.
are the use case? Let us say if I talk about SGID, when do we use it?
We use the SGID in the case of when we have to put the inherit permission on the groups.
Okay. Can you give some example of it?
It is like that if we want to put the if we have the HTML directory or some kind of a directory which have the web files, so we have to put the inherit permission on this onto the for the subdirectory and the file. So we can use the SGID for that.
Okay.
And more
And do we use sticky bit?
Sticky bit we use only for the directories.
What is use case?
Use case, suppose like if we want to use the some kind of permission that to right not user is if you want to give special type of permission for the directory is that user is not able to delete the file or access the file, so we can put the sticky bit on that.
Okay, good. Shrikant, I have next question for you.
Yes, sir.
Question here is, let us say I have maybe 5 groups. Okay, let us say I have a group. Name is HR. There is a directory created with the name of HR data. All 5 users are part of HR group. Let us name like Ankit, Balakrishna, Kamal, Numan, and Vishnu. These 5 users are part of HR group, right? Permissions are like 777. Or you can go like 775. Now I want the person Numan, who is part of HR group. I do not want to assign any permission to Numan on that particular HR data folder. How will I achieve that? Did you get
Sir,
the question?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can create ACL.
Okay, what permission will you execute there?
Sir, what means?
What command will you execute?
Sir. Set APCL.
Then
-m, then for file are you so -r, capital R, then yes, sir. Then U, sir, what permission Numan require?
nil permission.
Okay, no permission. Then U, then colon, then dash dash dash, I think, for no permission. And then again file name.
Yes, guys. Okay, yes, I got your point. So like, okay, one more question I have to Mahavir. So Mahavir, I have a question. Let us say I have 2 groups in my operating system, HR and sales, right? The directory HR data, which I have created, has ownership of root and group ownership of HR, right? Now I want that users of sales group should also be able to read and execute for permission on that particular data. How will you do it? Did you get the question?
No, sir. Would you repeat?
I'll repeat it again. I have a folder known as HR data. Owner of this folder is root, right? Group of this folder is HR. Now I want that another group, which is known as sales, should also have read and execute right on this particular folder. This time I'm not talking about any individual user. I'm talking about a particular group. As per the thumb rule, we cannot assign 2 groups on single directory, right? How will you do it? Mr. Yadav.
Yes, sir. I am also thinking.
Are these elections going on that you are thinking how to win the vote?
Sir,
No,
is there any
generally, I
possibility?
don't show interest in elections.
Pardon?
Sir, generally, I do not show interest in elections, sir.
सही बात है भाई, आएगा तो योगी ही.
भाई उतनी पहचान है कि योगी से भी काम हो जाएगा.
इतनी तो हमारी भी है, that's a different thing. खैर वो तो मजाक वाली बात थी.
अच्छा सर, आपने ये मजाक किया, मुझे लगा कोई थर्ड पर्सन. सर मुझे लगा कोई थर्ड पर्सन ने मजाक किया. दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड.
क्यों भाई, हम नहीं कर सकते क्या? Can't I?
Yes sir, you can sir, but आपने हिंदी में बोला ना, that's why I got confused.
Usually I do not speak Hindi in batches, but yes, sometimes it happens. Okay, not a problem.
Actually,
So,
sir, Gorakhpur is very nearby to us, sir, and you know, in the local areas, people are very connected.
yes, completely fine. Okay, Shrikant, can you think of it?
Yes, sir. Set APCL -m/r, then G for group.
Okay, great.
And
That is the answer. So rather than defining -u, we can define -g as well for modifying the permissions for any group. Okay, guys, now I have a question, a straightforward question. So would you like to proceed with disk management, or shall we continue next week?
sir, what is in the disk management?
A lot of things are there, like how do we add new disk, how do we scan it, how do we
Okay.
format it, how do
Partition. Okay.
how do
It
we
would be like good that actually I'd want to learn the sudo file. Sudo file have not been covered.
Okay, so shall we cover it today or tomorrow?
We
Tomorrow,
can
sir.
take it,
Next
tomorrow.
week, sir.
Tomorrow, are you going to take class?
Yes, guys. Sorry. Actually, there is something down within my environment. That's why I'm getting these calls. Okay, not a problem. Yes, guys. So shall we continue today or tomorrow? Like what?
Tomorrow, will you be going
Tomorrow
to
means next
class?
Saturday.
Okay, next Saturday. It would be longer, right? Yeah, we can continue with the like in the next session. Before to wind up, and I just want to know if you brief about
Sudo.
something about the CPU credits, because I have read about in the AWS instances, bus table instances.
Okay. CPU credits you are trying to know for, right?
Yeah.
On AWS platform.
Yeah,
Or you were talking about sudo as well.
right.
So shall we go for sudo first?
Yeah. I guess you will be going to cover it in the next session. That's why I asked about the CPU credit before going to
cover anything anytime. Okay, user add, let us say Ankit. Right? Password for Ankit is going to be, let us say, Red Hat. But I will not tell you that. The password for user Ankit is Red Hat, but I will not tell you that. Fine. Okay. So I have switched with user Ankit. Now the requirement here is I want to create a directory /data on / but mkdir. But directory does exist. Okay, let us say data1. This will say permission denied. What if I want that user Ankit should be able to perform the operation just like user root? What will I do in that particular case?
We need to add the Ankit user in the sudo file.
Yes.
Permission.
So guys, keep this thing in mind whenever we need to escalate the privileges of any user. So at that moment, guys, we have to ensure that the user is added into sudoers file. So the location of sudoers file is /etc sudoers sudoers. This is the file if we are going to add any user within this, which means we are trying to give that user as admin privileges. Right? Okay, let us go here. Now, guys, if you want to have a really granular access privilege mechanism on this particular system, then you will have to study this file in detail. I would request you to please go through it once, because this particular file is divided into multiple segments, multiple chunks there are. First of all, we have host aliases. For example, if you have multiple hosts like you have file server, you have mail server, so you can create host aliases as well. Like on which particular host you would like to assign these permissions. Second thing, you can create aliases for users, like you can define admins. Under admin, you can define here like J Smith, like Mike M, or this sort of. Then after, you can define here command alias as well. Now, what is this command alias? So command alias means like you want to define the particular command for networking, like smin route, if config, ping, DH client, net, IP tables. Command for your software management like RPM, up to date, EM. Like, for example, if I want user Ankit should be able to operate only these three commands. User Ankit should be able to perform only these commands like RPM and EM. These two commands I would like to associate, or I would like to grant access to user Ankit on these two commands only. So what will I do here is I can define the command alias. I can define the software management commands, and the command names I will define here. Then I will assign the particular this alias name against the name of that particular user under this particular section. How we are going to define, I'm going to tell you that. So are you getting it, guys, what we are discussing right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Rather than assigning a user unlimited and unrestricted access, right, guys, what we are trying to do here is we are trying to get some granular level of access granting mechanism to individual users. So we can create some alias for network command, for this command, for service command. Maybe for some locate command, maybe storage command, like some processes. Then after, what we are going to do here is, first of all, we will define here the particular way, like first of all, like root. What we are going to do here is, first of all, we will define a user, right? Then after, we will define machine. So if you remember on the top, we were talking about like we can define here machines like file server, mail server, and all. Remember, guys?
Yes.
Then after, what we are going to define here is the particular syntax of this particular file here is, first of all, username, that will be Ankit. Machine will be maybe file server or maybe mail server. Then after, commands. And rather than defining commands like bin, sbin, pass-to-d and all, what we are going to define here is we will define storage, process, and maybe software, maybe service. These sort of commands we can define here. So which means if I define like this, okay, let me define it here. Just for example, I'm telling like over here, I'm going to define ANKIT, username is Ankit. Over here, like rather than defining all machines, I'll define here is maybe FTP server, because we have already created an alias for this. Then after the command, maybe software. Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, user Ankit will be able to execute only software related commands. Right, guys? But as you know that I have not defined this sort of like SFTP server and all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define like privileges just like EC2 user. So what I'm going to do here is I have defined user Ankit, all machines, all commands with no password. It means at the time of privilege escalations, this particular user will not be required for providing any password. What I'll do here is I'll log out su-Ankit. Okay, I'm logged in with user Ankit. Sudo su hyphen logged in as root, and see, the system did not ask me password to escalate my privileges. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So as and when you want, for example, if there is a requirement, sudo su hyphen, we can do like this /etc sudo file. What we'll do here is we will remove this. And now what we are going to do, we are going to create some alias here. like this. We will go to bottom side. So I guess that we all are aware of this thing, that if we uncomment any file, that command, that particular line is treated as active line, right? We will define here all equals to software and no passwd. Now I'll log in with user Ankit, su-Ankit. Now sudo user add. I'm trying to add another user with Ankit user, right? So I have specified sudo before user add command, because right now Ankit is part of sudo's file. Sudo user add, and after that maybe Tom. What error is there? Line number is 1.
Sir, I think bracket.
Sorry, user Ankit is not allowed to execute sbin user add Tom as root on Linux box. But yes, let us say if I try to remove any package like sudo yum remove vsfppd package, let us see what happens. I have added that here. My bad. I have just specified this particular, right? But I did not specify any user alias, like user group, that can be allocated with a particular group only. If I define here all, that will work. So I will have to define complete stuff there. Like I will have to define their user alias, group alias, and everything. Then after the command alias as well. Only then it will work, otherwise not. Like first of all, host alias, I'll have to define. User alias, I will have to define. Only then it will work. I guess the particular concept is clear. Like we can add a user within this particular file in order to get things done, right?
So that will be the root user, sir.
Sudo yum install or maybe remove this will remove everything. And right now I have executed the command with the help of Ankit user only. If you see it here, maybe if I want to install it back, right guys, so Ankit user is able to escalate the privileges with sudo command. And which is the file, guys?
Yeah, what's again all mean? All equals all.
Come again.
What is the meaning of all equals all?
Okay, wait. etc sudo. So all means here. Read this particular line I was telling. First of all, the particular user, which is root. This is machine. It means all machines, like all machines in the network. And this particular parameter is defined considering that we might have centralized server where from like user access level is defined and users are going to log into all machines. And this is the like set of commands.
Okay,
Right?
okay, got it. So that second all is all commands, right?
Yeah, these are commands.
Okay. The user equals command. Yeah, got it. Thanks.
So any other question, guys?
Yes, if there is a scenario like I've actually worked on the Hostinger, like So over there, what they have done that they have put it a very good security over there. Only we can execute the basic commands, not we can able to use the sudo command. So how would we do that? If suppose if I just want to know the concept behind it.
So what you can do here is your user is not part of sudoers. And if like you are given sudo access, then sudo access will be given only for the limited commands. Like if you see it here, let me tell you that there are some of the commands. Let us say you can just run, you can check IP, you can check IP table list. You can change the like value kill command. You can use vi sudo command. These sort of commands only you can use. So your user might be given some admin access, but some specific commands only, not all the commands. For example, like you are allowed to restart service. So your user is restart to allow this one. Not start, stop. You can only you can only run the restart command, or maybe you can check the status only.
Yeah, right. I'm not. If actually I face this problem because I have to install something, so I'm not able to do it.
Okay, so in that particular case, you will have to ask for this particular section of permission as well. So as I told you that if you try to go through this particular file, you will get to know that you can set this sort of permission as well, that a user should be able to check systemctl status permission only. Like a person will not be able to stop, start, or restart a file, but should be able to, so not files or service, but should be able to check the status of that only.
Here service means database and all those stuff, right?
Yes.
Servers, web server like Apache.
Yeah. Makes sense. So I hope we are clear with this.
So 1-2 queries are there. Like in our organization, we have to create a VPN user like via the Linux and a DNS resolver like DNS server like in Linux. So like these topics will be there like afterwards. I face
So
problems.
VPN user is like created on Open VPN server.
Yeah.
So that is available as an AMI on this particular section, right? Like
No, they are actually what we are doing for adding a user or something like that. We have to run some command and revoking VPN users. Then we have to run some command.
What sort of command you are running?
Just hold on. I am telling you. I have the document.
Okay, till that in the meanwhile, if you till the time you are looking for your that particular server, let me go for and let me tell you the credit points. Actually, I have parked the question of Ankit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to unpark it. I'm going to release that question. Okay, here we go. See it here, CPU credit uses, so how much users has been done so far, and like credit balance, how much balance you have. So like earlier you had 40, like 32, like you had here how much, like 40. So this particular balance is reducing gradually. So till that time, the end of month would come, so you would end up utilizing this sort of like this would go down. If there is a particular time when you do not have this particular credit balance remaining in your account, then in that case, your performance will be downgraded. And this particular credit is different with different type of T2 micro machines. Like T type of machine. It could be different with T2.2x large. It could be different with T3.2x large and all.
So performance of the CPU will downgrade if the CPU count limit gets
not like we should not say like performance of CPU will be downgraded. You can say like it is just like credit card. You can understand. For example, the limit of a credit card is 50,000 rupees. you have consumed your credit card 50,000 limit within first 25 days of the month. Remaining 5 days, you will just carry your credit card, but the performance of that credit card, you will not be able to utilize. Why it is so? Because the credit limit is already exhausted. Now, what would happen? If you really want to utilize the credit card once again, maybe for any other transaction, in that case, you will raise a query with your bank, maybe with your credit card provider. Your credit card provider would charge something extra in order to grant you some additional credits, right? If you have additional credits, once again, you shall be able to utilize that card. Same thing goes with T2 and T3 type of machine here.
So it only associate with the T series instances, T2 or T3.
Yes, this particular option is applicable only for T type of instances, T2, T3, T4, T.
Okay, it's not free associated with the M series, C series, A series, Z series.
Yes, sir. I have texted you, sir. Like
Where? In this
WhatsApp,
particular
sir.
chat?
Yeah, WhatsApp.
This is just for initializing the particular certificate for the first time. When you create a user, so user key and other stuff are initialized, so that is the steps of that. I can explain that to you, not a problem.
These like VPN user and certificate and all those things.
Certificate, the particular certificate file, which is basically used to allow that user to log into that VPN in order to connect to some private IP addresses from local laptop directly, right?
Correct, sir.
I can completely understand that.
These concepts I don't know, like they have installed a client, AWS client VPN, like then downloaded file from there.
Not to worry.
Yes. And so one more thing, the DNS, there is one more thing, DNS, private DNS server they have via some in Linux.
Okay, not a problem. So guys, let us do one thing. Let us take a break right away, and we will continue next week. And next week we are going to talk about disk management and a web server management. Then after log management. These are the three things which we will cover next week for sure. Until the time, guys, please, all the things, whatever we have discussed, these are really, really critical. Please do practice. And next week, whenever we get connected, or guys, we will have session from 9 a.m. only, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
That gives some additional time.
AWS class will be
I
there
have another
at
session at 1. So even that gives me some time to have maybe a break of 10 to 15 minutes.
Do we have that class today, sir?
Pardon?
AWS class to
1 p.m. After 39 minutes, it will start.
On the same link, sir?
Yes, on the same link. So, okay, guys, thank you so very much. Have a good time. If you have any feedback, would love to hear that.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, sir.
Sure. So next week also 9 p.m., right? 9 a.m., right?
You're right.